interns. It's Paula Carr. Welcome to our Wellness Wednesday. Today we're going to be talking about mindfulness, and this is going to relate back to a lot of the activities we did at the hotel. Some days were a little more stressful than others because we learned that in a work environment that does come with stress. And then also thinking about currently what's going on in the world right now with the pandemic. We're also seeing a lot of stress from that. You might also be feeling a little stressed from, oh, this is my last year of high school and moving on after this. So there might be a lot of uncertainties right now going on where that could have an impact negatively on your health and on your mind. So mindfulness is a kind of taking some calm time for yourself to think about these things and to kind of relax your mind and calm your mind, so we don't always have those racing thoughts that can lead to an overwhelming amount of stress. So I'm going to kind of chop up the video today. This is the introduction, just kind of explaining what we're doing today. We are going to be completing we're going to, after this, watch a BrainPop video, which I'm just going to show you guys on my screen so you don't have to log in. No, I'll give you that login information. And feel free to use that on your own if you would like to. But I will be showing our BrainPop video today. I know you guys enjoy BrainPop with the robot, so we'll watch that today. And then also I'll lead you through a quiz. It's basically just an answer worksheet, just to review some of the information from this video that we're about to watch. And then afterwards, I'm actually going to be using our Ready, Set, Relax. Still have my dollar bookmark there. And I am going to be leading us through a guided meditation at the end, very short, very much similar to the ones we did when we were in the training room. And then we're going to complete a little worksheet that asks you, how did that make you feel? How did you feel before as compared to how you feel afterwards? So excited about today. And like I said, what we're going to do right after this, I'm going to pause, and then I'm going to show the screen where I have the BrainPop video. And we are going to complete this mindful quiz. And of course, I'll go over to help you guys with those responses on that. So looking forward to it. Hope you guys are excited about it. And hopefully this is a nice calming lesson today to kind of take a second to reflect, breathe, focus on that, and just take care of ourselves for this Wellness Wednesday. So stay tuned. I'm about to show you our fun BrainPop video with Mogi and his friend. All right, so here we are on our BrainPop webpage. So the Mysteries of Life with Moby. And I think you guys are going to enjoy this video. I'm going to full screen so you guys can see this really well. But a great thing to do would be looking at your mindful quiz as we go through this real quick video.
Okay, Cassie, clear your mind. Don't think, don't think, don't think. Wait, does that count as thinking? Shh, clear your mind. Quiet down. Hey, who you telling to be quiet? Well, you're the only one here, aren't you? What about me? Don't forget about me. Everyone, just zip it! Sorry. Dear Cassie and Moby, sometimes my thoughts totally get away from me. I get stuck thinking about everything I did wrong. Is there anything I can do? Your pal, Beth. I think we've all been there, Beth. If you really tune into your thoughts, you'll notice how much they wander. Thinking about plans for the future, reliving a strong emotion you experienced in the past, or maybe focusing on stuff you want or need. These kinds of thoughts happen automatically, seemingly out of our control. They're like your brain's version of biting your nails or twirling your hair, just habits that it repeats for no apparent reason. Then, without realizing it, we make decisions based on all this brain chatter. We might follow an urge or craving we're feeling, or get stuck reliving some painful memory, and then react to that instead of what's happening right in front of us. Put simply, when you think out of habit, you act out of habit. It's it's not entirely a bad thing. Habitual thinking lets you multitask almost effortlessly, like when you walk somewhere along a familiar route. You don't consciously think about all the turns you need to make, or even about avoiding unfamiliar obstacles. All that stuff runs on autopilot while you think of other things. Sometimes you can't even remember how you got where you're going. But there you are, safe and sound at your destination. It's an amazing little trick. But sometimes your brain chatters at you when you don't need it to, about stuff you really don't want to be thinking about, which can distort how you see the world. But what if you could just learn to turn down the volume on those thoughts? One way to do that is by practicing mindfulness. That means focusing on the present moment without judgment. It doesn't come naturally to most of us, but the more you do it, the better you get. Right, one method to strengthen that skill is mindful meditation. Here's one way to do it. Start by sitting comfortably, in a chair or on the floor. Your back should be straight. Imagine it's a tall stack of coins. Then relax your body. Just let everything hang. Close your eyes and breathe naturally. Focus your attention on the air flowing in and out of your nose or belly, whichever you notice more. Feel your body pressing against the chair or floor. Inhale, exhale. Whenever your mind wanders, and it will wander, try not to judge yourself. Just notice it, and then bring your awareness back to your breathing. Use your breath to keep you in the present, moment by moment. If you haven't meditated before, set a timer and try it for 1 minute. From there, you can work your way up to 5 minutes, then 10 or more. Or if you keep having trouble staying in the moment, try a guided meditation. That's when a person or an app walks you through the steps. Kinda like I did just now. Yep, there are lots of ways to do mindful meditation. But the goal is always the same, keeping your attention on the moment. Once you get the hang of it, you can approach any activity mindfully. You can take a mindful walk, concentrating on feeling your steps and your breath. You can eat mindfully, savoring each bite, focusing on your food's flavor and texture. After a few months of practice, it'll get to be second nature, and you'll find that you can handle difficult situations better. Your brain might still chatter at you and stir up difficult emotions, but instead of reacting to those feelings, you'll kind of notice yourself having them. Once you identify them, they'll be less intense. And then you'll be able to deal with the situation calmly, rationally, mindfully. Good point. The goal isn't to disconnect from your feelings. If anything, you'll be more in touch with your emotions because you're more aware of them. And mindfulness is no replacement for getting help when you need it, like by sharing problems with people who care about you, or talking to a parent or trusted adult about bad feelings or experiences. Instead, think of it as another option in your toolkit of well-being. We could all use more of those, right? Right, Moby? Hello?
All right, so a good little video here. I'm going to pause this and go back to so you can see me, and we'll review our mindfulness quiz. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed our video with Bobby. All good as always. Love BrainPop. No matter what age, it's definitely great information. And they went over some good information to know about mindfulness, as hopefully that continues to be something. Maybe it's something that you love and really works for you. Maybe you're not a fan. Just remember, the more you practice at it, the more helpful it can be. So give it a chance, especially when you're going into your adult life, as things can, become very stressful at moments, and our minds do get very busy. So it's just a great way to calm down your mind, and in the end, that's going to help your brain work better. So let's go over some of these answers, because I know taking a quiz isn't the most fun thing to do on a Wednesday. So I'll definitely go over each one, go over the correct answer for each multiple choice question on your quiz. See, I've already Already circled them, already given them to you, but I definitely want to talk about each one because they all are each very great points that the video brings up about mindfulness. So, number one, if you can follow along on the quiz with a pen, number one, mindfulness can be an effective, so can be a great tool for reducing what? Why do we do mindfulness? Why is this something that Paulo Carr is talking about in the Project Search lesson? Well, it's a good tool for reducing, for decreasing, is it concentration, positive memories, unnecessary conversation, or wandering thoughts? So, mindfulness is effective in reducing and decreasing, taking away those wandering thoughts. Answer D. So, a lot of times, and this happens with me as well, I feel myself starting to wander about the future, maybe things that happened in the past, and I start to get worried and concerned about these things that are really out of our control. We talked about this in the training room. We talked about how there's a circle of things that we can control, which really deal with our attitudes, our minds, and our actions. But then there's a whole world of things outside of that circle that are beyond our control. Things happening in the world right now, traffic, uh, things, things that other people do and say. Those are out of our control. So that mindfulness is really just going to kind of take your thoughts back in. So you're really only concerned about those things that are within your control. And that's very helpful and calming to reduce that stress. So the answer for number one is mindfulness can be an effective tool for reducing D, wandering thoughts. Number two, an example of habitual thinking. So habitual means doing something over and over and over again, like a habit. So an example of habitual thinking and thinking about things over and over and over again are forgetting a classmate's name, solving a difficult math equation, replaying an embarrassing memory, or asking for directions. So the answer there is that example of habitual thinking is actually replaying an embarrassing memory. We all do it. I do it. Adults do it. Younger children do it. So we all do this. We think about a time where something, negative happened or something bad happened. And we think about that again and again and again. That's that habitual thinking, and you're kind of stressing your brain out. The video said it's like biting your fingernails, but for your brain. And it is. It's not helpful because really what mindfulness is trying to do is helping us to focus on the present and what's going on right now and the things we can control. So number two is C, replaying an embarrassing memory. We want to kind of get out of that habitual thinking. Number three, when multitasking. So multitasking is doing several things at one time. Like this morning, I was making coffee, washing dishes, and feeding my cats. And I was kind of doing all those things all around together. Well, when you're multitasking, we tend to what? So when we're doing several tasks at one time, what are we doing? We tend to A, do one task multiple times. B, complete one task before moving on to the next. C, focus on multiple tasks with equal attention, a wish. And D, focus on one task while doing others automatically. So the answer there is D. When multitasking, we tend to focus really on one task. I was really focused on getting those dishes cleaned this morning and in the dishwasher. And feeding the cats was just kind of something I just automatically did while I was probably thinking about something else. Making coffee, again, I was just thinking about something else as I was just putting the scoops in. So when we're multitasking, we are focusing on one. And although multitasking, people, in the past have really thought that's helpful, it actually tends to not have the best results. So focusing on each task is definitely a good thing, and mindfulness will help us do that. Number four, mindfulness helps us focus on. So what does mindfulness help us focus on? Does it help us focus on the past, things we can't control? Does it help us focus on the present, right now, how we feel, the things we can control? Does it help us focus on the future? Maybe worries about things that are gonna happen that we don't know about? Or all the above? So number four, Mindfulness helps us focus on the present, where you are right now, how you're breathing, what you can control, just what's going on, how your body's feeling that day, how your mind is feeling that day. And it really takes you to that calm place of the present and what's happening right now. So again, number 4 is B, the present. 5, which pose is ideal for mindful meditation? So they showed this on the video, but really, there are lots of different poses you can do to have a mindful moment. Try not to get ahead with those other answers there. So we see here a person sitting up straight with their back. So you have that vertebrae that was like the coins that they showed in the video. You want to keep that straight so you can decrease that stress. We build a lot of stress in our backs and our necks and our shoulders, and that mindfulness and sitting up straight helps that, kind of decrease as we do that activity. So this was your answer here, because out of all these pictures, this is really the one where the person was sitting up straight with their back straight. Leaning against a wall, even though it's relaxing, it's not great for mindfulness. Laying like that, again, the back's still not straight, and then kind of slumping in your chair is not really ideal. So when you go into a mindfulness activity, just try to have a pose where you're sitting up, your back straight, your head straight. You're almost trying to like float your head towards the ceiling or the sky a little bit to stretch your neck out, relaxing your shoulders down, sitting up straight. Is really where your body gets the most benefits from a mindfulness activity. Number 6. Oh, sorry. So A, you guys saw A for 5. I showed you. Okay, so moving on. Number 6, if your mind wanders during meditation, you should. So this is going to happen when at the end of this video, I lead you through a guided meditation. I guarantee you, some of us are going to listen to it, but our minds are going to think about other things, and that's okay. Don't be hard on yourself. If you start thinking about something else other than your breathing or just that moment, that's okay. That's what work you're putting in to do. So the more you do it, the better you're going to get at it as well. But I definitely, when I have my mindful moments or when I practice yoga, I start thinking about, oh, what am I going to do for a lesson tomorrow? Oh, I wonder if, this is going to happen or what's going to happen. And we do have those thoughts that aren't very helpful. So when that happens, what should you do? Because it will happen. So what you should do is, if you identify yourself thinking about other things, thinking about a movie or thinking about something else, should you start over your meditation from the beginning? Should you refocus on your breathing? Should you think about why it keeps happening? Or D, try a different meditation pose? So the best answer there is B, try to refocus on your breathing. That's something you want to really concentrate on the entire time you're doing your meditation. Because if you just focus on, the air going in your nose, out of your mouth, or if you have a stuffy nose, in your mouth and out of your mouth, and just focus on that. Try to focus on where the air, once you breathe it in, where's it going in your body? Down, down into your lungs, hopefully down into your belly is really good too. That belly breathing is positive. So just focus on that breath and just go back to that moment, and that'll bring you back to that calm state as well. So the answer for number 6 is B. Just refocus on that breathing if your mind starts to wander. All right, number 7. What is an ideal, so what is a good amount of time for a first meditation? So we have done meditations before, and I did start us off with very shorter meditations in the training room, and that's where you should start. So should you start for 1 minute, 10 minutes, 30 minutes, or an hour? The answer is A, 1 minute, 60 seconds. So you want to start, since you're starting out first doing this, and if you haven't been doing it much, you want to start out with those small amount of times because that'll help you go longer and longer. It's actually quite a challenge to calm your mind. And I really honestly, even when I practice yoga and have a yoga teacher who's been doing this for years, she talked about how, she tried to meditate for 30 minutes and an hour and how it's very, very difficult. So again, start slow. Start with that small time frames, maybe 1, 2, 3, maybe even 5 minutes on that meditation, because again, it's something really hard for us to do. So we need to get in the habit of that so we can extend that time. Number 8, similar to playing a musical instrument, mindful meditation A requires special equipment. B should be done alone. C is too difficult for most people, or D can improve the more you practice and do it. So, yeah, the answer is D. Your mindfulness exercises can improve the more you do it. And that relates right back to what I was just talking about with the time and how long you should meditate. So, it doesn't require special equipment. You can just sit down. If you don't have a chair, you can sit down on the floor. It's just really, you just need your body and a good pose there with your back straight. Should it be done alone? Not really. There were lots of times where in the training room we were having a stressful day. I could tell, anxiety was running high, and we would stop and we would all meditate together. That was 8 people meditating together in one room. We were able to successfully do so. So you can do it with other people. And honestly, I like doing it with other people because it kind of allows that connection to another person. C, it's too difficult for most people. It's difficult to calm your mind, but it's not, it can be done. So I know it might be a little difficult, but it can be done. And again, the answer is D. It can improve the more you do it. So practice, just like everything we do. We don't have any weaknesses. We just have areas where we just need more practice, and that's one of them. Number 9, while brushing your teeth mindfully. So now we're talking about doing other things you're doing throughout the day, but in a mindful way. You might focus on what? So in the video, it talks about different things that we do in our routine, how we eat, brush our teeth, do different things. Well, while we're doing those routine things, our mind tends to spin and bite its nails, and we tend to think about wandering thoughts. Well, instead of that, you can honestly just you can be mindful in those routine activities. You can think about when you're brushing your teeth, the sensation and the taste that you're getting in your mouth. When you're eating your food, again, you can eat slower and, really think about how it tastes, how it feels in your mouth. And those can help you also kind of have that habit of doing mindful things throughout the day as well. So, um, so while brushing your teeth, you might want to focus on an exam you're nervous for, the breakfast you're about to eat, a new pimple on your chin, oh no, or the tingling sensation of the toothpaste. So again, it can be very sensory. You can really think about those senses, the tastes, if it's cold, hot, and you can focus on those things again that are happening in the present. So the answer to number 8 is D. The answer to number 9 is D, the tingling sensation of the toothbrush, just to keep you in that moment. Number 10, mindful practice can help you blank strong emotions in difficult situations. So again, not only on this Wellness Wednesday are we talking about how mindfulness can help keep our bodies and our minds healthy by reducing stress, but what is another benefit of mindfulness? Well, does it help you ignore strong emotions? Do we want to ignore those strong emotions and push those down? Does it help us do that? B, push down. Does it help us deal with strong emotions in a more positive way? Or D, does it help boost those strong emotions? So the answer to number 9 is C, deal with. Because, I asked this question, I remember asking this question to you guys in the classroom, and I said, is it okay to feel angry? Is it okay to feel upset? And, a lot of us responded, no, that's not okay to feel angry. Well, it actually is. Being angry is not necessarily a bad thing. That's just your emotion. You're upset about something. We get upset. So really what that mindfulness can do is just help you deal with that emotion, calm from that emotion, understand there's things we can control and can't control. And then also, having strong emotions is okay. It's really what you do with those emotions and your actions. And again, that mindfulness can help you deal with that a little better and, make better choices and react to those difficult situations that happen in life in a more positive and mindful way. So, I'll show you all of our responses, all of our correct responses here from our awesome BrainPop video. I will always love Moby. Moby fan. There's a t-shirt with that on it. I would totally buy it. All right. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're actually going to do a mindful moment. We called it mindful moments when we were doing it in the hotel. So we are going to have a mindful moment. I'm going to lead you through using my guided activity. Hopefully I'll figure out on my video how to play like a little calming music that goes along with it. I feel like that helps me as well when I'm doing a mindful meditation. And then what you're going to do after we complete at the very end of our lesson today, you're going to complete this worksheet, the mindfulness worksheet. And it tells you here, to try to sit comfortable. That's definitely something we want to do. Keep your back straight. I'll give you those reminders. And we're going to go a little bit more than a minute, but we're definitely going to try to close our eyes, focus on our breathing. And then what I want you to do after we get done with this is describe your general mood. Do you feel any different on how you felt before? So really think about, how do I feel before this? Go through the mindful meditation with me, and then think about, how do I feel different? Do I feel calmer? Do I feel happier? Does my brain just feel stronger? And then next question, how did you respond to wandering thoughts? Remember, I said you're gonna have wandering thoughts. It doesn't matter. It's gonna happen, right? Like, you're gonna think about, different things. What's going on today? What's gonna happen? Where's this going? You're gonna have different wandering thoughts. That's okay. How did you deal with that? Again, really encouraging you to just focus on that breathing. Don't judge those wandering thoughts. That's okay. They're, again, your thoughts and your emotions. That's okay to accept them. But again, just try to focus on that present. So you'll answer that question. And then lastly, you will answer, what was the most challenging part of the exercise? So was it hard to not have your mind wander? Was it hard to not fidget around? Was it hard to, keep your eyes closed and your breathing going? What was just a difficult part of that for you? Because it is going to be somewhat difficult, but that's okay. Again, remember, we practice things that we have needs in, and all it needs is just more practice for it to become a strength. So I am going to, again, pause the video here, lead us into a mindful moment, and then you guys can complete that worksheet at the end to conclude and to end our lesson for today. All right, so hi guys. I changed my scenery a little bit. Maybe you like to have mindful moments outside. I know I do. Pardon the wind. It is a little windy today. But just wanted to have a good little background scene in my backyard for you guys to enjoy a mindful moment today. So I'm going to begin starting a guided meditation for you. Remember, some things to think about are to be in a position right now where you can sit comfortably with your back straight, maybe on the floor or in a chair. Also, remember to breathe as we do this. I'll be cueing you to do that and telling you to do that. But just remember to keep that breath going. That's going to be very important. And then remember, don't judge yourself with those wandering thoughts. Just go right back to that breathing. All right. Sit comfortably with your feet on the floor and your eyes closed. Take 3 long, deep breaths. Feel yourself relaxing more and more with each breath as you continue. Let the rhythm of the music calm you. Feel your muscles relax and your heart in breathing slow. Say to yourself, I am calm and relaxed. Take 3 slow breaths. Your chair becomes a comfortable bucket seat with armrests and a headrest. A voice says, fasten your seatbelt. Hear a loud whirling noise and feel your whole body being pushed against the back of your soft seat. Look out the small rectangular window next to you and see that the ground is just a blur because you are moving so fast. Your plane is about to take off. As the flaps on the wings go up, your seat tilts back and you go up very quickly into the sky. Plug in your headphones attached to your seat and enjoy beautiful music and scenery. Look down and see strange little objects moving like ants in an ant farm. As you look closer, you discover these tiny things are cars, following the ribbons of roads in and out of the city. As you continue, the roads now seem to outline a giant checkerboard filled with shades of green and brown. The pilot tells you the squares are large fields filled with corn or wheat. Look down and see some bright blue puddles. You know that you must be looking at huge lakes. From the air, one lake looks like a little turtle. Another one is in the shape of your favorite animal. Look closely until you can see it. The music and scenery helps you feel calm and relaxed. You now see a great mountain range. Some have caps of snow. You are so high that even these majestic giants look small. Red canyons weave in and out of the mountain ranges. A blue-green river winds through them like a snake. You are above the birds. You are now above the clouds. You feel like you are on top of the world. You imagine that if there was a storm, you could just fly over it. Everything looks so neat and clear. On your trip, you have noticed a few cities and many beautiful, wide open spaces. You realize that there are many wonderful places to go and things to do. You also know that you will find happiness somewhere below. Take a deep breath and repeat to yourself 3 times. I have much to see and enjoy in my life. I have much to see and enjoy in my life. I have much to see and enjoy in my life. You wish that you could jump on a cloud and stay in the air a while longer, but it is now time for you to land. Pull your seatbelt tight. If you feel that you're always climbing a mountain, return to your airplane for a much clearer picture. Somewhere out there is a place for you. Take a deep breath and return to your room. Open your eyes and stretch. Take a few moments to appreciate the good feelings that come with relaxation. So I hope you guys enjoyed our mindful moment there. Please take time to answer those 3 questions at the top of the worksheet. Don't worry about having to research the other methods unless that is something you're interested in. Feel free to do so, but that you certainly don't have to do that. But just think about, how do you feel now after taking a few minutes to really calm, focus on your breathing, think about that plane ride that we just took, and see how you feel after. Did you have wandering thoughts? What did you do with those? And then what was kind of difficult about that for you? Is to keep those wandering thoughts, or breathing, or sitting up straight? And go ahead and answer those 3 reflection questions at the end for our activity. And I really chose that activity specifically for you guys because, loud birds, sorry. Um, but really, I chose that activity for you guys because it's a specific activity for you to have a positive outlook on your futures. And right now, that is so important as we come to the end of our school year and our high school careers. So always know that there is a place for you. Keep that mindfulness habit, and hopefully, again, hopefully you enjoyed that and understand how important that is for your wellness. So thank you. I will see you guys this afternoon for our Wednesday social. Have a great day. Some of the things we learned through this awesome video.